So the case that I chose to do was about George Galloway versus the Daily Telegraph. And basically that just, the background on it was the Daily Telegraph published a story saying that a powerful Scottish man named George Galloway was getting paid by Saddam Hussein a large amount of money. Now, background on it, George Galloway did a interview with the Daily Telegraph, and what the problem was is that although he was interviewed by telephone on the afternoon of April 21st, from what they said, he was not given the opportunity to read the Iraqi documents beforehand. Therefore, he had no idea what they were going to publish or if they were going to publish the article, which means he doesn't have a fair or reasonable opportunity to make inquiries or any meaningful comments upon them before they're published. So how that goes with media law is when you're interviewing somebody, even if they're in the right or the wrong, you have to give them an opportunity to make their word better than it actually is. I don't know how to put it, but you have to give them an opportunity to save face. So what was quoted is, in all circumstances, it cannot be said that the defendants were under a social or moral duty to make the allegations about Mr. Galloway at the time, and without any attempt at verification, is what the judge that was on duty said. And like I said, that all the allegations were based off of papers and records that were found in Baghdad. So, the paper argued that the publication could not be defended on the grounds of like a qualified privilege, and that the story kind of like overrided the public's interest more than anything, and that the Daily Telegraph published it in good faith to let the people know what was going on, not necessarily to make Galloway look bad, because the story itself was going to take care of that. But how it ended was Galloway ended up winning because, in my opinion, the Daily Telegraph, they jumped the gun and they published it too soon without getting his assurance and without reading him the facts that they had found, so he can kind of back himself up. So therefore, this case was kind of jumped out to me. In my opinion, George Galloway is not a good man for getting paid by Saddam Hussein, and the amount of money is pretty amazing of how much he was getting. But, I think at the end of the day, the Daily Telegraph had the right mindset, but they just did it a little bit too soon. And that's why it's kind of, tough in these certain situations that you have to really have patience with big stories like this, because you want to be the first one to publish it, but you can't always do that if you jump the gun, because now you get taken to court like this in this case and you lose. So it's kind of unfortunate that happened, but it's just a good point on libel and slander, and how you have to make sure of things before you put them out there, because if they are wrong, then you can get in trouble.